Here we are with an unboxing of the HTC One S, the mid-range device from the new HTC One series. So this sits below the HTC One X, which everybody is talking about, but the One S comes in a form factor that people may prefer over the bigger HTC One X. So it's also known as the Z520e. It's got a 1.5 gig dual-core processor, Android, HTC Sense. We've got a micro SIM card slot. It's got a gig of RAM, 16 gig internal memory, of which nearly 10 is available. Got a 4.3-inch touchscreen, 8 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture, 28mm lens, LED flash, 1080p video recording, front-facing camera. We got the Wi-Fi, we got the Bluetooth, the DLNA. You get the picture. So without further ado, let's unpackage this one. So this is a UK spec SIM-free device, and it's in grey. And there is the phone itself. We'll come back to that in just a moment. So you get a little sticker with your IMEI information, getting to know the One S, a little bit of information there. Then you get your regulatory information and warranty information, all pretty standard. Then we get the rest of the box contents. So we get a micro USB to USB charging cable, which we would connect into this. The 3-pin UK mains adapter, which has on the top here a USB port. You connect your cable into that and the other end into the device for charging, or alternatively you can use just the cable to connect it to a PC for charging purposes. You'll notice they come in sort of a grey colour to match the device. You then have a set of 3.5mm in-ear headphones with flat cables, so they're designed to be tangle free where possible. So here is the HTC One S. So we've got Android 4 on this device, the very latest Android operating system, and on the front here we've got the 4.3-inch touchscreen display with a resolution of 590 by 960. Now, initial impressions, it actually looks quite long in comparison to a lot of other devices. It just feels like it's been stretched a little bit, but you don't get the width of some of the other devices, and after a little bit of time you get used to what feels like a stretched device. You've then got 3 touch sensitive navigation buttons here. So we've got a back, we've got a home, and then we've got the running applications menu button here. At the top we've got a speaker grille. There's also LED notification light and sensors under there. We've then got a front-facing camera, which is VGA resolution, so for your video calling or front-facing camera shots. On the bottom, we've got a microphone just there. On the side, we've got a volume up and down key. On the top, we've got the power button, a microphone, and then the 3.5mm headphone jack. And then on the other side we've got the micro USB charging port just there. On the back we've then got the 8 megapixel camera, has an f2.0 aperture, it's a 28mm lens, and then we've got an LED flash. This records in full 1080p, and like the One X, the One S has the HTC ImageSense software on board. We've got automatic flash settings, so it's designed to adjust to the light. It's got 5 settings there so that you don't get overly exposed or underexposed images. It's designed to be better, and we've also got some innovative image sense options which we'll go through in a little bit. We can just about see we've got the HTC logo sort of embossed into the back cover. This device does have Beats audio. You don't get the headphones, but when you do connect your headphones, when listening to music, it's enhanced with the Beats audio technology to give you a better audio experience. And then we've got the loudspeaker there on the bottom as well. So the One S has got a unibody design, and under here is a fixed internal battery with a 1650 milliamp hour capacity. We need to put a micro SIM card in it, so you'll see there's a little recess here at the top, and this is where you remove the top portion of the device. It's a little bit fiddly, so we're just going to do that now. Okay, so we've removed the top piece of the device here, and this is where you can then put your micro SIM card into the phone to actually use it. You then just pop this back on by sort of lining it up, pushing it into the locking mechanism around the camera and pushing down on it, and that's it locked in place. It's not a task you'd want to do every day on that. It's a little bit tight. It's a good fit, which is nice. But that's where you pop it in. So let's boot the HTC One S. Okay, so the HTC One S has now booted. We've run through the setup procedure and we get to the home screen. It comes up with some tips there. We don't need to see that. So here we are at the first home screen on the HTC One S, and then we've got an Android experience which is similar to many other devices, especially those running ice cream sandwich. So we've got the customizable home screens which we can tap and hold on and add widgets to. If you've watched our One X unboxing, you'll see how this all works, but you can refine the widgets, you can search, and you tap which one you want and put it on the appropriate home screen. You can scroll through and choose the ones that you want to add widgets to. You can add apps, you can add shortcuts. You get the idea there. You can then go into your applications tray and you can see everything. You can see frequently accessed ones, or you can see ones that you've downloaded. Of course, this is a brand new device, so we haven't downloaded anything, or we can't really have any frequent ones with the exception of setup, because that's the only thing we've used so far. You've got the ability to sort things, edit tabs and manage them here. We can go directly to the Play Shop, which is the new Android market. We can search through our applications as well, and we just simply scroll across like so. So you can see as standard we've got YouTube, Wi-Fi hotspot, Twitter, HTC Watch installed for your movies. You've got notes, you've got music, you've got personalization options, you've got a car mode which we can just click into here. And this is an optimized view for when you're actually in a vehicle to make it easier to use the device. Be careful when using a device in a car, but you can quickly access the phone. That's working in landscape mode. It'll also flick around into portrait mode if you are in out of the car mode, because this is designed that when it's mounted in the car dock, it's in a landscape orientation. So if we actually come out of the car dock, go OK, now switches back into portrait mode, and we can go into the phone this way. So we can dial in numbers. If we had contacts in the phone, it would auto refine. We can then see our contacts. We can have groups. We'll see our call history as well, and this all synchronizes with Google account if you've got one added, or a look at your SIM card contacts as well. To maximize the device, we recommend you do link up a Google account. Let's just quickly go into the settings to show you a few things. So first of all, let's go down and see about the phone. So we can see that's running Android version 4.0.3 and HTC Sense version 4. So that's going to give you the lightest but best HTC Sense experience to date. Just go back in there and look at the hardware information. So we've got a dual core processor on here, 1 gig of memory, a 4.3 inch display, 8 megapixel camera. You get the idea. Just go into the language options. So in terms of system languages and menu languages, these are the options that you have. There aren't very many options there. You can extend your writing language options by going into the Sense input settings in the international keyboard, and then we have more options here. Not the most extensive list, but more options than in the default language, so we can get some of the Chinese characters, the Russian characters, and this means that when you're typing a message, be it or any other keyboard, you can write in your preferred language. It doesn't have to be English or the default menu language that you've set. So if we were to go into the messaging application, you can see we're at the default English keyboard. We can actually rotate into landscape mode if we choose, but we can tap here to sort of select the languages. Okay, so and just toggle through now. You can see that the keyboard's changing, so we've gone from English to French to Danish to Italian, and the layout is changing. So then we've got a Russian keyboard, and you see how completely different it is, and you can type a message in that language. So we go home. If we go into the camera, so there's an 8 megapixel camera on the back of this device. One of the standout features about this is it's running HTC image sense, and it's designed to make your whole experience a little bit better with the HTC One S. So here we've got a camera shutter icon and a video capture icon. What we can do is we can record still images or video footage from the camera rather than going into different applications to do that. So we can simply take photos like so. We can record video. Now of course we can change the settings of the video, but it records in 1080p if we wish. So that's actually recording a video, but one of the standout features is we can actually record a still image at the same time. So you can see the shutter buttons here, and I'm actually taking photos here. So I can stop the recording. Both in the camera and video recording modes, we've got the zoom function, so we can slide in and out like so. We've got the ability to switch on or switch off flash. We've got some more of the settings down here, so including the resolution, the ISO, white balance. We've got the scene modes, so if you want to take a particular picture, you can do so. You know, the camera will automatically try and detect the settings, but you can help it out a little bit to configure some of those settings to get the best picture possible. We've got some distortion effects up here to give more camera options, which is quite nice. There's quite a few options you've got there, so all in all you can do quite a lot with this camera. So you can see that we've then got a preview of some of the images that we've taken. We can click into here and we've got the video. So we can play that back like we would any video taken on a device, but you notice how we were taking the pictures during the video recording stage. We can also do it as it's playing it back. Of course, we can change the settings of the video that it records into. So you can see we've got the camera shutter button coming up here. So let's say we've recorded some sports footage. We want to get that picture. We didn't get it the first time around. Tap, it takes that picture, and we can save pictures from video that we're playing back, which is a nice feature. And there's going to be a lot of advantages to that. Some may say it's a little bit gimmicky, but I think there is always occasions where we're trying to take some footage, but we never get it right, and we miss that perfect shot. So now we can just video it, and we can come back later and take that picture if we choose. So a lot of the experience is very similar, as we've mentioned, to other Android devices. Let's just go into the web browser for comparison's sake. So we can orientate into portrait or landscape mode. So let's just go to Clove website. Okay, so it's loaded into our mobile site, optimized for things like smartphones. But let's go into the full desktop view. And here in landscape mode, you can see it's rendered nicely. We have to scroll a little bit here, but that's to be expected. We can orientate into portrait mode as well. We can pinch and zoom. We can double tap to go in and out, whichever you prefer. So let's click on into a product page where we've got more text. So the colours appear really crisp on here. It's really really bright. It's quite hard to read the text, so I could double tap in and it's going to render it a little bit better for me to actually view the text. But one of the nice features that seems to be on here is at the top we've got this little read icon. If you press that, it strips out all of the images as best as possible and renders it down just to text, and we can then read it much easier, less distractions. It's just taking the core text from the page for us to be able to actually read, which I think is quite a nice feature and makes it much better if you're actually using a mobile device. We've got lots of options from tabs to bookmarks within the web browser. A little bit different if you're used to Android version 2.3 devices, takes a bit of getting used to, but there's the web experience on there for you. Within the settings here we do have the ability to personalize the device and change some of the themes. So we've got the scenes that you see. You can actually have different sets of home screens, so you could have one for work, one for the weekend, one for the evenings, and customize them accordingly. That depends on how you sort of go, but you can have up to 5 different ones there. You can change the sort of the skin and the color theming on the device. You can change your wallpaper, your lock screen style. So most people like this because you've got quick access to certain features, but you can have things with your messaging or your friend stream up there to make it really easy for you to sort of to get going and functioning quickly. So that's a quick unboxing and software tour of the HTC One S, which is available from clove.co.uk.